Welcome, welcome, welcome to our book, namely Goals by Brian Tracy. Today we're going to be reading chapter number 10. Apologies for being a little late. I've written a message already on the group. So, chapter number 10 is about. One second, just give me 1 second. Yeah. Chapter number 10, remove the roadblocks. Joyce Brothers says the person interested in success has to learn to view failure as a healthy, inevitable part of the process getting to the top. How many times do you think that people try to achieve their new goals before they give up? The average is less than one time. Most people give up before they even make the first try. And the reason they give up is because of all the obstacles, difficulties, problems, and roadblocks that immediately appear as soon as you decide to do something that you have never done before. The fact is, successful people fail far more often than unsuccessful people. Successful people try more things, fall down, pick themselves up, try again over and over again before they win through. Unsuccessful people try a few things, if they try at all, and very soon quit and go back to what they were doing before. So, temporary failure always precedes success. You should expect to fail and fall short many times before you achieve your goals. You should look upon failure and temporary defeat as a part of the price that you pay on your road to the success that you will inevitably achieve. As Henry Ford once said, failure is merely an opportunity to more intelligently begin again. Once you've decided upon your goal, ask yourself, why am I not there already? What is holding me back? Why haven't I achieved the goal up till now? Identify all the obstacles that stand between you and your goal. Write down every single thing that you can think of which might be blocking you or slowing you down from moving ahead. Think in terms of solution. Remember, you become what you think about most of the time. In the areas of problems and difficulty, successful people have a particular way of thinking that we call solution orientation. Unsuccessful people think about solutions most of the time. Successful people think about solutions most of the time. People think about problems and difficulties most of the time. Solution oriented people are constantly looking for ways to get over, around, and past the obstacles that stand in their ways. Problem oriented people talk continuously about their problems, about who or what caused them, how unhappy or angry they are, how unfortunate it is that they have occurred. Solution oriented people, on the other hand, simply ask the question, how can we solve this? And then take action to deal with the problem. Between you and anything you want to accomplish, there will always be problems and obstacles of some kind or the other. This is why success is sometimes defined as the ability to solve problems. Personal leadership is the ability to solve problems. Effectiveness is the ability to solve problems. All men and women who accomplish anything of importance are people who have developed the ability to solve the problems that stand between them and their goals. Problem solving is a skill, and this is a skill which everybody should start inculcating. That if there is a problem, there's always a solution. And if we become skillful, if we keep developing this habit, ki mujhe to solution mil hi jata hai, so it is. Lo and behold, you will get the solution. Fortunately, problem solving is a skill, like riding a bicycle or typing with a typewriter, which we can learn. And the more we focus on solutions, the more and better solutions will come to us. The better we get at solving problems, the faster we will be at solving each subsequent problem. And as we get better and faster at solving problems, we will attract even bigger and more expensive problems to solve. Eventually, we'll be solving problems that can actually have significant financial consequences for us and others. This is the way the world works. The fact is that you have the ability to solve any problem or to overcome any obstacle on the path to your goal. If you desire the goal intensely enough, you have within you right now all the intelligence and ability you will ever need to overcome any obstacle that could possibly hold you back. The theory of constraints. One of the most important breakthroughs in thinking in the last few decades was described by Elihu Goldratt in his book The Goal. And this is absolutely mind-boggling. Ellie Goldratt is one author who's written a couple of books with the name Goals in it, and they are the Bible for people who have industries. Absolutely brilliant. Now, in that, he says the book's name is The Theory of Constraints. This theory says that between you and anything you want to accomplish, there is a constraint or a limiting factor that determines how fast you get to where you want to go. And this book is magnificent, absolutely magical. For example, if you're driving down the freeway and there's highway construction that is narrowing all the cars into a single lane, this bottleneck or choke point becomes a constraint that determines how fast you get to your destination. The speed at which you pass through the bottleneck will largely determine the speed of your entire journey. In accomplishing any major goal, there's always a constraint or bottleneck you must get through as well. Your job is to identify it accurately and then to focus all of your energies on elevating the key constraint. Your ability to remove this bottleneck or deal this limiting factor can help you move ahead faster than perhaps any other step you can take. Now, again, there's a very beautiful concept of 80-20. Let's learn about that. Internal versus external constraints. Now, constraints in life are very normal. You will have constraint. I can't do this. This is my constraint. That's my constraint. Now, the minute we apply this 80-20 rule, let's see what happens. The 80-20 rule applies to the constraints between you and your goal. This says that 80% of your constraints will be within yourself. Only 20% of your constraints will be outside of yourself, contained in other people and situations. To put it another way, it is you personally who's usually the major roadblock that is setting the speed and which you achieve any goal that you set for yourself. For most people, this is hard to accept. But superior people are more concerned with what is right rather than who's right. Superior people are more concerned with the truth of the situation and what they can do to solve the problem. And they are with protecting their egos. Look into yourself. Ask yourself, what is it in me that's holding me back? Look deep within yourself and identify the key constraints in your personality, temperament, skills, abilities, habits, education, or experience that might be holding you back from achieving the goals that you've set to achieve for yourself. Ask the brutal questions. Be completely honest with yourself. The primary obstacles between you and your goals are usually mental. They are psychological and emotional in character. They are within yourself rather than within the situation around you. And it is with these mental obstacles that you must begin if you want to achieve anything and everything that is possible for you. Two major obstacles to success. The two major obstacles to success and achievement are fear and doubt. It is fear of all, fear of failure, poverty, loss, embarrassment, rejection, that holds the average person back from trying in the first place. This is why the average number of times that a person tries with a new goal is less than one. As soon as he thinks of the goal, these fears overwhelm him, and like a bucket of water on a small fire, extinguishes his desire completely. The second mental obstacle closely aligned to fear is that of self-destruction, self-doubt. We doubt our own abilities. We compare ourselves unfavorably to others and think that others are somehow better, smarter, and more competent than we are. We think I'm not good enough. We feel inadequate and inferior to the challenges of achieving the greatest of goals that we so much want to accomplish. Now, we've understood the obstacles, we've understood the thing about looking into ourselves. Now, there's one very important aspect of a human being we are trained from childhood to think of the negative. Why? Because parenting in itself is a proven science where we hear 40,000 times no's versus 5,000 yeses. बेटा ऐसे मत करो गिर जाओगे. बेटा ये मत करो ऐसे हो जाएगा. Because parents think, teachers think that in order to make the child more wise, they want to caution him or her that don't do this. So to look at the negative part is ingrained in a child from the time he or she is born. It's not something that we are complaining about, but this is a way of how a child is brought up in the world. But the good news is that if we have been trained to think in that particular manner, we can train ourselves to unthink in that manner. Or to simply put it, start looking at life with a glass full attitude. Let's talk about this. Negative emotions can be unlearned. Fortunately, if there's anything good about doubt and fear, it is that they're both learned emotions. Have you ever seen a negative baby? Children come into the world with no doubts, no fears at all. And whatever has been learned can be unlearned through practice and repetition. So, once more, please understand, those of us who are living this book, consistency is the key. If you're disciplined and if you're consistent, then automatically you're going to be compounding the good habits and they'll become a virtue or habit which you will have for your life. So it's something that we can practice and inculcate in our beings. The primary antidotes to doubt and fear are courage and confidence. The higher your level of courage and confidence, the lower will be your levels of fear and doubt, and the less effect these negative emotions will have on your performance and behavior. So, one more thing that we must learn about goals is that it's all right to take risk. For getting something, we have to lose something. So, it's all right to risk. Calculated risk it can be. But if we let go of these fears and say, okay, this is a part of my investment in my program, and let me see, worst kya hoga? Nahi hoga, dekha jayega. We'll figure out plan B. But if we have the courage to do something, and if we have the confidence in ourselves to be able to pull it, carry it out, then half the battle is won, because then we are so confident that we are going to be attracting those vibrations. Because remember one thing, law of attraction is nothing, but whatever we are vibrating at, that is what we are attracting. So if I say on top, I am positive, I am amazing, I am really wonderful, and inside I'm like, but yeah, mujhse to ye nahi hoga. No, I can't do this. So the feeling that I'm thinking and feeling, that emotion that I'm emoting, is the vibration I'm giving in the universe. Because remember, universe doesn't understand words more, it understands frequency, the vibrations. That's what it's resonating at, its energy world. So even though we may have learned the language of affirmations and all of that, which helps definitely, but the most important is to raise our vibration. So that is something we must raise, learn to raise our vibration. And how do we raise our vibration? Simply just giving off the track meditation, listening to great music which uplifts you. Now that music could be anything which uplifts you. Music is, again, it has a language. Water, if its water is charged, you have any affirmation written on the water, and if the water is kept next to, say, a chant of Om in your house, in your kitchen or something, and you keep sipping that water, your body chemistry will change, because 80% of our body, 70% of our body is water. So automatically you'll be unlearning the negativity and you'll be only talking the positivity. It'll happen automatically. Gradually you'll find this shift in yourself. You'll see it for yourselves. There's no need for anybody to see. Then people will say, Are, she's become so positive. He's become so positive. What happened? You're a person in progress. You're developing yourselves. Now, there are few keys to courage and confidence. What are those keys? The way that you develop courage and confidence is with knowledge and skill. Most fear and doubt arises out of ignorance and feelings of inadequacy of some kind. The more you learn the things you need to know to achieve your goals, the less fear you will feel on one hand, and the more courage and confidence you will feel on the other. So again, there's another part of this which is not mentioned here. Now, to be confident, of course, knowledge is extremely important. Whether you acquire this knowledge from books or however, it's great. But the minute you put knowledge into implementation, that is when the skill comes out of it. So, even the bookish knowledge is great, working knowledge is even better, because in working you will falter, you will rise, you will try, you'll change the course of direction, and when you succeed, then you get courageous and you get confident. It's very, very imperative. All right, think about learning to drive for the first time. You were probably extremely tense and nervous and made a lot of mistakes. You may have driven erratically, been a danger to yourself and others, but over time, as you mastered the knowledge and skills of driving, you became better and better, and your confidence increased. Today, you can quite comfortably get into your car, drive across the country with no fear or worry at all. You're so competent at driving that you can do it well without even thinking about it. The same principles apply to any skills you need to learn to achieve any goal you can set for yourself. Again, now we have been again taught a beautiful science. Full versus less, powerful versus powerless. Power is there in us. We are born with so much of power that it's unbelievable. Why? Because we have a lot of wisdom in us, because we have lived many, many, many lives. Now, whether we want to realize this power and become powerful, or let this power get wasted and feel powerless, depends completely upon us. Dr. Martin Seligman of University of Pennsylvania spent more than 25 years studying the phenomenon of what he called learned helplessness. What Seligman concluded after interviewing and studying many thousands of people was that more than 80% of the population suffers from learned helplessness to some degree, and occasionally to a very high degree indeed. A person suffering from learned helplessness feels that he or she is incapable of achieving his or her goals or improving his or her life. The most common manifestation of learned helplessness is contained in the words, I can't. And this I can't is also coming out of ego. Now, ego doesn't have to be only superiority complex. Negative complexes are also coming from ego. I, me, and am. I am not good enough. Oh, I am great. These are all forms of ego. Ego is ego, whether good or bad. So if you're saying that I can't, it could be that you have a lot of inferiority complex ingrained in you. Now, whenever the victim of learned helplessness is offered an opportunity, possibility, or new goal, he or she immediately responds by saying, I can't. He then goes on to give all the reasons why a particular goal or objective is not possible for him. I can't move ahead in my career. I can't get a better job. I can't take off to study. I can't save money. I can't lose weight. I can't start my own business. I can't start a second income business. I can't change or improve my relationship. I can't get my time under control. Or if I do this, I know that I'll come back to the square one. These are their limiting beliefs. This is their they have learned this feeling of being powerless. Now, whatever it is, he always has a self limiting reason that immediately slams on the brakes of his potential. It short circuits any attempt, desire to set a new goal or to change things in any way. Another famous observation of Henry Ford was, if you believe you can do a thing or you believe you cannot, in either case, you're probably right. Now, this in itself is a very, very important statement. Ultimately, what is your belief? Limiting or enhancing? Again, in the school of earth, we have come to learn things. If we learn to enhance ourselves, whether by reading books or whether by implementing some things or doing some actions, it's absolutely essential that we change our belief system if it's not progressive. To go upward in a life or downward in a life depends only on us. We may say that, it's because of my family, my children, my parents, my partner, my blah, 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 my conditions, but no, it is us. It's always us, whether we realize or whether we don't. And when our energy changes, things around us change. The same children, the same parents, the same partners, and the same staff, which was Limiting your progress will now be enhancing your progress because it will become so easy for you. So again, it's on us whether we are powerful or powerless. Unlearning helplessness. Learned helplessness is usually caused by destructive criticism in childhood. Again, very, very important to know. No matter how many times we have been criticized by the world, if we shake it off us as traumas and which needs some kind of self work, self improvement skills, then the negative experiences growing up and failure experiences as an adult can reflect. But the minute you realize that, okay, this is a negative part of me, this is who I've been, but up until now, this was my truth. Here on, I write my new story. So, what happens? You have old story writing, and now you have a new story that you're writing for yourself. We always are taught that we are co-creating our life with the universal energy, the source. So if we say this was my story and I let go of it here and now, and here on I start a new story, automatically you will be on a path for success. This way, you get over this natural tendency to sell yourself short by setting small goals, making plans, and working on them each day. In this way, you gradually develop greater courage and confidence, like building up a muscle. As you become more confident in yourself and your abilities, you can set even larger goals. Over time, your doubts and fears will weaken, and your courage and confidence will grow and become the dominant force in your thinking. Eventually, the record of success is behind you. It wouldn't be long before you become unstoppable. For example, you know that your energy in the morning is comparatively not very fresh. So, first thing is we need to go to a park because that's when the energy will be activated. Now, for that, maybe you walk for 5 minutes, but there's a very beautiful lesson in this book called in Atomic Habits by James Clear. He says to develop a habit, never miss an activity for more than 2 days together. So today, if I have to go for a walk, then every day I must go for a walk. If half an hour is my goal, start with 5 minutes. Small, tangible, achievable steps, when tick marked every single day, give us a sense of victory. So smaller goals helps us build that muscle, that memory muscle, and gives us the energy muscle. Now, the next is the trap of the comfort zone. Now, this is very, very imperative to understand. The second mental obstacle that we need to overcome is the comfort zone. Many people become complacent in their current situations. They become so comfortable in a particular job, relationship, or at a particular salary or level of responsibility that they become reluctant to make any changes at all, even for the better. The comfort zone is a major obstacle to ambition, desire, determination, accomplishment. People who get stuck in a comfort zone combined with learned helplessness are almost impossible to help in any way. Don't let this happen to you. So, how should we shake out? Set big, challenging goals. This way, that you get out of your comfort zone and break loose from learned helplessness by setting big, challenging goals. You then break these goals down into specific tasks, set deadlines, and work on them every single day. Like an ice floe breaking up in the spring, soon the sluggishness and lethargy of learned helplessness and the comfort zone breaks up, and you begin moving faster and faster towards accomplishing more and more of what is possible for you. Organize your obstacles by priority. Once you've made a list of all the obstacles that are standing in the way of your achieving your major goals, organize obstacles by priority. What is the largest single obstacle? If you could wave a magic wand and remove one magic obstacle from your path, which obstacle, if removed, would help you in moving ahead more rapidly? Management consultant in Ayan Mitrov has an interesting set of observations with regard to problem solving and the removal of obstacles. He says that whatever the problem, define it several different ways before you attempt to solve it. Beware of any problems for which there's only one definition or only one solution. Again, very, very important to know. Again, I repeat, whatever the problem, define it several different ways before you attempt to solve it. Beware of any problem for which there's only one definition or only one solution. हर प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व करने के लिए प्लान ए, प्लान बी, प्लान सी, एक नहीं हुआ दूसरा, दूसरा नहीं हुआ तीसरा. पहुंचना है तो पहुंचना है, मंजिल सामने है, I must reach, so I must reach. By hook or crook, I will reach. If we have that attitude in life, I don't mean hook and crook in the sense of cheating on somebody. I just mean if not this way, then another way. So don't take it in a different fashion, because if you truly want to become successful in life, cheating others or taking shortcuts will never lead us in the righteous path. So we have to be very mindful and heartful about that also. When you ask the question with regard to your goal, why am I not there already? What answer comes to your mind? What is holding you back? What is standing in your way? Is that at any point that you have to drill down to determine the correct obstacles before you begin taking steps to remove it? You do this by asking the question, what else could be the problem? After each definition of the problem. And that in itself is beautiful, because you find one problem, then you find, oh, there's another underlying problem. Oh, under the underlying problem is another small underlying problem. And every problem has a solution. Once we reflect on that deeper, we always get answers. Conducting a sales analysis. In my work with corporations or individuals, we start off with the goal of doubling our profits or doubling our income. I then ask, why is it that our profits of our income are not twice as high already? By repeating questioning, we often come up with an answer that is quite different from the obvious answer. Here's an example of the questioning process. We're not making enough sales. What else could be the problem? Our individual sales are not large enough per customer. What else could be the problem? Our advertising is not attracting enough customers. What else could be the problem? As you see, whichever of these obstacles turn out to be the correct problem will require a completely different course of action to solve it. If we don't have enough sales, our solution is to increase the number of sales. If our sales is not large enough per customer, our solution is to increase the size of sale per customer. If our advertisement is not enough in drawing enough customers, a solution is to improve the quality of advertising in some way. Keep drilling deeper. You could say our customers are not buying enough from us. What else could be the problem? Our customers are not buying frequently enough from us. What else could be the problem? Our salespersons are not selling enough to our customers. This could lead to totally revamping the quality of the sales force through better recruiting, training, and management. What else could be the problem? Our customers are buying too many of our products from our competitors. What else could be the problem? Our competitors are selling too much of the products to our customers. The answer forces you to think, to ask, what value or benefit do our prospective customers see in purchasing from our competitors? How could we offset this perceived benefit? What else could be the problem? We are not making enough profit on our sales. What else could be the problem? It costs too much to make each sale. What else could be the problem? And so on. Each new definition of the problem suggests different ways that the goals of increased sales or profitability could be achieved. Apply the right solutions to the right problem. In this book, in the business book by the McKinsey Way, describing the management consulting practice of McKinsey and Company, the authors point out that one of the greatest wastes of time and money is in applying the wrong solutions or wrong problem in the first place. This can apply to your problems and obstacles as well. I'm going to be taking a little more time of yours, because tomorrow and day after there's no session. I'm going on a retreat, a wellness retreat. So I'll be back late on Sunday. So let's just finish this chapter. 4 more pages. I would say another 10 minutes. Those of you who wish to, retire, please do so. You can catch up on the YouTube session, which I'll be sharing the link. By identifying the constraints or reasons that you're not achieving your personal income goals, each definition leads to a different set of solutions. They require that you think in different ways. In your personal life, it is the same. The accuracy with which you identify the obstacles or bottlenecks that are holding you back will determine the appropriateness of the various steps that you can take to remove or alleviate these obstacles. Let's increase our income. We could start off by studying the problem in the way, I'm not earning enough money. What else is the problem? I'm not contributing enough value to be worth more money. What else could be the problem? I'm not good enough at what I do to be capable of getting results that are worth more than I'm earning today. What else could be the problem? I don't use my time efficiently enough during the workday. What else could be the problem? I spend my evenings watching television, my weekends watching socializing, and I seldom read or learn anything that could help me to be better at my job. Aha. Now you have found the real problem. Now you have a clear idea of what you have to do differently if you're going to solve your original problem. which was to earn more money. Again, define the obstacle as a goal. Once you have determined the major obstacles that is holding you back, rewrite that obstacle as a positive goal. For example, you could now say, my goal is to continually upgrade my skills and abilities so that I am in the top 10% of money earners in my field. You then make a list of all the things that you could do to upgrade your knowledge and skills. Improve your time management, increase your efficiency, effectiveness, and make more sales for your company. You set deadlines and measures next to each step in your strategy to achieve excellence in your field. You then select one key task and take action on it immediately. From then on, you hold your own feet to the fire. You become your own taskmaster. You discipline and drive yourself to do things that you need to do to become the kind of person you need to become in order to achieve the goals that you have set for yourself. Isn't this an amazing strategy to create a life that we desire? It's beautiful. This exercise of identifying what is holding us back and then setting a clear written goal to remove the obstacles puts us back in control of our own life. By following through on your resolutions, you virtually guarantee your ultimate success and the achievement of almost any goal you can set for yourself. For that, we need to strive for accuracy. If you have any questions or concerns about the accuracy of your problem definition, discuss it with someone you know and trust. Put your ego aside. Invite honest feedback and criticism. Be open to the possibility that you have fundamental flaws and weaknesses that are standing in the way of your realizing your full potential. Be brutally honest with yourself. Once your problem or obstacle is clear to you, ideas, opportunities, and answers will come to you from various sources. You will begin to attract into your life all kinds of resources that will help you to overcome the obstacle difficulty either within yourself or within the situation around you, and move you more rapidly towards your goal. So clarity is very, very, very important. Accuracy is super important. Almost every problem can be solved. That's a good story. Remember the old poem. For every problem under the sun, there's a solution or there is none. If there's a solution, go and find it. If there isn't, never mind it. What a wonderful poem. For every problem or obstacle that is standing between you and what you want to accomplish, there's a solution of some kind somewhere. Your job is to absolutely clear about what sets the speed at which you achieve your goals, and then to focus your time and attention on alleviating that constraint. By removing your major obstacles, you will often find and make more progress in a few months than the average person might make in several years. So that again is very, very important, and this will come with consistency. If you have goals with timeline and you have measurable attitudes for checking in weekly, daily, hourly, you're going to be successful. Now let's just sum up the chapter. Remove the roadblocks. It comes in 5 points. Identify a major goal and ask, why aren't I there already? What is holding me back? List everything you can think of. Number 2, look into yourself and face the possibility that it is your fears and doubts that your biggest roadblocks to success. Identify the constraint or limiting factor in yourself or the situation that sets the speed at which you achieve your goal. Develop several definitions of your major problems or obstacles. Ask what else is the problem. Define your best solution as a goal, set a deadline, make a plan of action, and then get busy on your plan. Work on it every day until the problem is solved and the obstacle is completely removed. All right. Thank you for being in the session. Let's immediately practice a Lotus of Gratitude, and then we will meet each other on Monday night, 9 o'clock, right? So once again, let's fold our hands into 2 small lotuses, left and right. Close the eyes, or if you wish your eyes to be open, it's absolutely all right. Think about the 10 wonderful things that have happened to us throughout the day. And by every remembrance of every gratitude, let's open one finger as a petal of the lotus. Allow the lotus to bloom. When one lotus has bloomed, we go on to the other. So, in silence, let's practice these beautiful 10 gratitude. Grateful, grateful, grateful for so many blessings, so many beautiful things that we are all blessed with, small or big. Let's expand our consciousness and increase our width and capacity of our heart to be grateful. With so much of love, we're increasing our own vibration. And now, with this beautiful vibration, when we think of some goal, we're going to be energizing it so much more. So now think about it when you sleep, let it be in your subconscious mind and keep coming and keep growing and becoming better versions of yourself. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Be blessed. Have a great night and sleep tight. Good night, my dear friends. I'll see you on Monday evening. Thank you, thank you, thank you.